Men, learn the habit of insta scrolling past any hot girl you see. Don't look, don't stare, don't like her picture, don't message her, do not engage. Ignore, blink, and make your mind immune instantly. AI is coming and nobody even knows what's real anymore. The only thing worse than women leading you by the dick is machines leading you by the dick. Kill all lust quickly. The only thing worse than you guys simping over women on Instagram is you simping over fucking AI pictures on Instagram. And you're already doing it and you don't know. These bitches have filters. They don't look like they're supposed to look like. They don't look like that in real life. They're already half cyborg, cybernetic organisms. And now you're all falling for the AI psyops. This ice poster of this hot girl, I argue, is an AI psyop. I think it was an AI psyop to be like, look, we're deporting hotties. I think she's made up. I think it's AI. I don't think it's real. In fact, using my fabulous deductive reasoning, there's two choices. Either she's real and I've never fucked her, so I don't care about her, or she's fake. And in either one of those scenarios, she can get the fuck out of America. So I don't care. All those people tweeting, maybe we should reconsider LOL, thinking they're being cool bros, are gay. I don't give a fuck if she's real. She ain't ever made a taco for me. Ana Desterio Franquez, you should have made me a fucking burrito when you had the chance. Then you'd have Top G here on an emergency meeting saying, let her stay. You know, you'd have some vocal representation. Your lazy ass didn't cook me a single enchilada, no nachos, and now you're getting deported. Fuck off back to Mexico. I don't know you. If she's real, she's probably AI. I'm beyond simping. Guys, every single hot girl on Instagram messages me every day. I am the prize of Earth. Getting Top G to settle down with you makes you the ultimate female, and females love clout. They're all chasing me. They're all doing anything it takes to try and get me. They know if they can get me to settle down and make them publicly wifey and simp for them, they get the most clout on the planet. They're all desperate for clout. They're all trying the impossible task. And I just scroll past it. I don't care. I'm immune to it now. I'm immune to female beauty. It doesn't work. Your beauty doesn't work. Your magic tricks don't work on me now. You have to come up with something else, and you have nothing else because you are vapious. I don't care how you look. What else you got? Women know this. You ever say to a woman, what does a man get when he's with you? Well, they get me. What the fuck does that even mean? You get me. me. You think you're so special? You think you're the only fucking fake tits on the planet? Bro, fake tits and some fucking lipstick? Do you have any idea how easy that is to fucking find? These women are delusional. He gets me. What's so great about you? Tell me what's so great about you. I'm here to be convinced. I'm here. I'm on your side. Convince me. What's so good about you? Make me believe. You seem so confident. Make me believe. Okay, he gets you. You're the fucking prize. What you got? Pussy? Had that. Fake tits? Every girl's got them. What else you got? What else did you? Because you sound to me like an expensive headache. That's all you sound like to me, because love is gone. Women are only with men for money now. Women want paying. There's none more of this, I'm broke, but she likes me. No, women like money. That's all they have ever liked. They like you if you pay their bills. So you want to come along, give me stress, cost me money, and you're offering what? Me. Sell the car, sell the Ferrari, give me the features. One of my future plans is to do a stand-up tour. I hope you guys buy tickets and come. It'll be great, I promise. Feminists will come and they'll like try and heckle me. You're bald. I shave my head. Of course I'm bald. If I tried to shave my head and still had hair, that would make me at female level incompetence. It's not that fucking difficult. You silly bitch. Next. Yeah, you're not funny. And you're fucking fat. You're fucking fat. Put the spotlight on the fatty. You're fat. He got me fat. You are. I regret nothing. Called a dude's daughter ugly. Had a fucking breakdown. Fucking ugliest kid I've ever seen. Ugliest kid. Fucking, it was too easy. Like, fucking ugly kid. It's not by I dislike you or anything. It's just that's a fucking ugly kid. It could be the fucking princess of fucking Zanzibar. Who gives a shit? It's fucking an ugly kid, bro. Anyway, come to my stand-up show because I'm now a comedian. That's my covering fire. I'm going to say all the things I want to say, but it's comedy. Guys, I'm not racist. I'm a comedian. I'm not misogynistic. I'm a comedian. I didn't human traffic her. I was joking. It was a joke, Your Honor. It was a joke. I took her passport away as a joke. I'll give a discount to anyone who's inside of the real world on my stand-up tickets when I do my stand-up tour of the USA. Come see me in Miami in a stadium making fun of chicks. You know it'll be the best night of your life. Bring a girl. Bring that girl you're dating who's a little bit stuck up. You know that girl you're dating? She's kind of cool, but she's a little bit stuck up and gets upset sometimes. She gets a little bit mad. Bring her to my comedy special, please. Woo. I promise it'll be funny. It's amazing how much he's getting done, but I am pertinently aware that it's going to end, unfortunately. I feel the time ticking away. And one day Trump won't be president anymore, and things are going to get hard again. So you need to get rich now before it's too late. You need to get rich now before Trump stops being president and times get difficult. Now is the time to get rich. We've already wasted a month of Trump. This is the best years of your life. These are the prime years of your life. You're a good age. You're strong. You're healthy. Trump's president. Women aren't in charge. No girl boss. No woke. No trannies. Now you gotta get rich. Because when the trannies come back, if you're not at least rich, you're fucked. You're gonna end up going to work and being forced to call a dude a chick. You gotta get rich now. Now's the time. Get rich. Come to my comedy tour. I'll be free soon. Good times are coming.
You know, it's actually kind of like not enough people use that. I'm a liar. Why'd you say that? I'm a liar.
I like saying that.
I lied.
Like if
I lied.
Like, you know who catches you lying? Women. Well, you said you didn't sleep with her. Yeah, I'm a liar. Well, you said you were with your brother. I saw photos of you in a club with a bunch of girls. Yeah, I lied. I was lying. I'm a liar. What do you want from me?
Sorry,
I was telling lies.
Sorry about that. I was lying.
And I knew I was lying. I knew that I was not telling the truth when I told you I was doing something else. I knew exactly what I was doing when I said I'm at home in bed. I knew I was with the hoes. I knew I was in the club. And I lied. I'm a liar.
We're going to start with the good news, and then we're going to move on to some bad news.
The good news.
Yeah. The good news is
everything's totally fucked.
Right. For a very long time.
Can I have a pen?
Only if you promise not to abuse your pen privileges. Don't do anything weird with the pen. Don't draw anything stupid. Don't write anything. Don't do anything weird. Promise don't do anything weird with this pen.
I promise. I'm a liar.
You are a liar. You just lied to me. You fucking lied to me. I fell for it.
So you write, and I'll illustrate. In fact, that's the theme of the emergency meeting. You're going to write down ideas, and I'm going to illustrate the ideas using my epic illustration skills. As everyone knows, Tristan Tate, very famous, talented artist. Okay. I'm going to illustrate the ideas Andrew discussed.
Okay, firstly, all right, so I wanted to follow my train of thought here.
Okay.
For the longest period of time, my brother and I have been trying to crack the Matrix. And I've been saying on my previous podcast that all it takes is a crack in the dam because people are tired of being lied to. And then once the dam is cracked, there'll be a flood of truth behind it. And we've been trying very hard to damage the Matrix, which is when I came up with my 3-stage plan, deliberately going to become the most famous man in the world, deliberately going to get canceled, to be able to find me on other platforms like Rumble, and deliberately damage the information wall, which they're using to spread lies to the world. And we're going to damage the Matrix in real time so that truth can come through, because truth is going to prevent them from... So my intention was to damage the Matrix, and I would say now that you and I have been massively influential in the damage that has done to the Matrix. Or perhaps I said it on my first Patrick Bet-David interview. Everyone's laughing at me now that I got canceled. Ha ha ha, Andrew's canceled. You're not going to see Andrew anymore. Turns out I'm more famous than ever before because I said it takes one person to be more relevant after cancellation than before cancellation, and nobody will no longer fear cancellation, and the truth will come out. Now we have X, owned by Elon. We have Rumble. We can tell the truth, and everyone's starting to say the things you couldn't previously say, whether it's geopolitically, whether it's societally, whether it's financially. All of these things are coming to light. The Matrix has been significantly damaged, and it is at the end, its death throes of its power. We have damaged the Matrix significantly, And I have been part of that, which is fantastic. And we've been working hard to get that done for a very long time.
Okay, as you can see, Andrew was cancelled. The tick means that's a good thing, and that is an X-themed rocket ship with Elon piloting us to freedom because he builds rocket ships.
So now that the Matrix is dying, you have to be perspicacious and you have to think ahead and identify. As the Matrix dies, as it crumbles, how will this affect my life? What is the good and bad from this? Because there is good and bad from everything. There is no light without dark. A lot of you are at home excited that the Matrix is cracked and you get to go on Twitter and say that men can't have babies, and that excites you because you couldn't say it a couple years ago. Yes, that's a good thing. It's good to spread the truth. However, there are going to be negatives of the Matrix cracking. There's no light without dark. Even if you do something as nice as drink water, eventually you're going to have to get up and go for a piss. That's how the world works. So not enough of you are talking about or thinking about all the negative connotations of a cracked and damaged Matrix, which is what we're going to talk about on this emergency meeting. So my plan is to first demonstrate to you that the Matrix has been irrevocably destroyed. It's been damaged and it'll never be repaired. Then I'm going to make a prediction of what they're going to do about it, because they're going to have to do something about it. They can't allow this to continue for long. And then we're going to talk about how it's going to affect all your lives at home, because there's no light without dark. There's massive opportunity, but there's also massive pitfalls that a lot of you could fall into, where you end up a bigger slave than you ever were under the Matrix itself as the Matrix collapses, because humanity naturally tries to trend towards some sort of order, and the order that you're going to trend towards is slavery, along with all your peers and friends and the other losers, and before you know it, you're going to end up trapped. So there are bad things that come with the Matrix cracking, and we're going to talk about them today.
And as you can see, you are sitting here crying, eating your bug salad while the evil overlords are in their ivory tower laughing at you, which can still happen.
Bug salad.
It's a bug salad. If that's not a bug salad, what is? One, if my illustrations are epic.
What we are seeing now is an inflection point in momentum with no catalyst to recede. I like that language. As a linguist myself, and I am a linguist.
You can't say irrevocably.
Who gives a shit? That's a shit word. Don't fucking step to me, bruv.
Your reputation as a linguist has been irrevocably damaged.
Smart. What we're seeing now is an inflection point. We've reached a point of no return. Momentum is going to gain to the point where there is no catalyst to recede. Nothing can happen. Catalyst. Nothing can come along and inspire a chemical reaction which will allow people's minds to recede and go back to the slavery they once operated under. It's not just that MAGA vibe is re-energized. The culture has shifted. You're welcome. My brother and I basically sacrificed our lives to do exactly that. We basically went to fucking jail and lost all of our fucking money. And we're debanked and deplatformed and lied about in the media and sworn at, and every single bad thing that can happen to a person. My brother and I basically went through it to damage and change the culture and damage the Matrix. We've done exactly that. The conviction and enthusiasm have expanded. Once again, you're welcome, because I'm enthusiastic. I'm not like all these other conservative dorks. The reason the conservative movement didn't get anywhere before me and Tristan is because they did this. Ready?
Don't do drugs. Make your bed. Don't dance at parties. Make your bed. Don't have sex with girls unless you marry them first. Make your bed.
Don't. Bro, you're a bunch of geeks. You're geeks, bro. I came along and said, get rich and get strong, get big and get a bunch of women, and then tell everyone to get fucked. More and more people have woken up. The corporate media is irredeemably compromised. They lie, double down, and keep lying because they think people are stupid. Here's a small point of contention. They do think people are stupid, yes, but that's not why they lie and keep lying. They can't admit that they lied at any point. They have to just keep doubling down on the lie, hoping that eventually you'll forget about the fact that they lied at the beginning of it, especially if it gets deeper and deeper. E.g., we will lie that there's climate change. You don't believe me. So then we'll double down and talk about how you shouldn't drive your car because of climate change. You won't believe me. Then we'll talk about how you should eat the bugs because of climate change. You won't believe me. And then we'll talk about how it's dangerous. All the people don't want to eat the bugs and don't want to give their car up and don't want to fly. And these people are bad to society. And they'll keep doubling down. So eventually you get to a point where you look at somebody and go, oh, he drives his car a lot. Forgetting that the original lie was about climate change and they should be allowed to drive the car as much as they want. But they're just going to add layers to the lie. Yeah. If you blame yourself, you have control over the situation. And I think that if men get their act together, you'll be surprised how that will expand out towards society and how not only your life gets better, but the life of everyone you care about, everyone you meet, everyone you interact with, their lives get better by extension. And that's what we need to fix society. I think that the universe or God or whoever you want to call it, I think they know what they're doing. You're going to get exactly what you deserve in this life. And if you don't have the things you want, quite often you don't actually deserve them. And if you start acting in a way where you do deserve them, you'll be surprised how quickly and easily they appear. You'll see. And a lot of you are sloppy and lazy, and you don't care to look back and realize where you've been sloppy or lazy, or realize where you've made mistakes. And then you're not understanding why your life is constant blunders and bluffs. Well, that's because you keep making mistakes. But if we look at it in a more universal and as a more meta point, I love that the world is hyper competitive. And when you're extremely successful, you do. I love the fact that women only want to date men with lots of money because I have lots of money. And I love the fact that women want to date men with good bodies who are strong because I'm strong. It's fantastic. I would actually be devastated if women changed their minds, because I like it being that competitive, because I like to win, and I have no problem with the competition. I have no problem with war. If you're going to sit and go, women shouldn't think this way, what you're actually doing, and you may not realize you're doing this, but you're speaking to the universe and saying, I can't win, so I want to change the rules of the game. Good point. I think you should apply a completely different mindset. If women sit there and say, I want this, 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 and this, I am never offended by that, because I sit there and go, yep. Okay. All right. Text me then.
I'm winning.
So I'm winning. So I think you should look at these things as a man. How can you, as a man, take absolute self-accountability? Yep. You can blame her, and you can blame women, we can blame society, all those things. That's true. But the best thing you can do is sit there and go, well, let me make sure I don't fall into any category where I can be disqualified. Yep. And then you don't have to worry about any of these things. And the best thing about being a man, in fact, the only good thing about being a man, because being a man is much harder than being a woman. You're born with no value. You don't matter. Your life is hard. The only good thing about being a man is that it's a harder version of the game of life. It's a more difficult version of consciousness. And if you play a harder video game, you get a higher score. If you're a top tier male, it's the best possible experience. There are dudes out there who are jealous of chicks because chicks get attention, because they're like, those girls get to go here, these girls get to go there. But if you were at our level and getting to do it as a man, not as a chick, as a man,
it's better. It's
much better. It's always going to be better.
Yeah.
So we have the best possible chance to live the best possible life. All you have to do is be man enough to get your stuff in order. And this is something that's really true about the world. And I say this all the time. People often say it's okay to fail if you try your best. But I will argue, if you try your best, you will never fail. If you try your best, you will not actually fail. If you get up every day and do what you're supposed to do. I've never seen a person get up every day, eat right, hit the gym twice a day, every day, eat properly, sleep as much as they're supposed to, their supplements are in order, doing their absolute best, who was not in good shape. I've never seen it. It's literally physically impossible.
Yeah.
So you either want it or you don't. And it's the same with absolutely everything else. A lot of people go, I've been trying. If you were really trying for the amount of time you've said you've been trying, you wouldn't still be in the position you're in. And that's the truth. When you're truly trying your best, people often ask me, they say, well, if women love money, why are they with these guys or these broke guys, or why are they with this guy who's trying to come up? I think if you're actually really trying your best in your life and you're doing your very best to build a life, even if you don't have it yet, I think people can smell it. Not just women. Men.
Ambition.
People can smell the ambition. They can see their life's in order. They're good. Something's right. You can call it magic. You can call it energy. You can call it something.
Potential is very loud.
And it's kind of amazing that guys will sit and they'll go, what do I do about this girl? How do I get this girl? And they'll send super chats. How do I get this girl? How do I get that girl? If you actually just do the things you know you're supposed to be doing and get your life in order, you'd be amazed how quickly it all falls together. It's like everything else. In chess, good moves come from good positions. Boxing, you land the good punch because you're standing in the right place at the right time. You do the right things. The rest of it's actually pretty easy. And as bad as this world is, and as difficult as women are, and feminism and all these things, I promise you, if you're acting the way a man should act, with honor, integrity, you're hardworking, you're perspicacious, and you have perseverance, and you do all the things you're supposed to do, you're going to find a loyal woman who adores you. You're going to find it. You can be in the worst. You can be in Miami, Ratchet City, but you'll find a girl who's obsessed with you if you're doing all the things you're supposed to do. Even if you're not a millionaire yet, but if you're doing the things you're supposed to do. It's kind of beautiful how God will give that to you if you finally get your act together. If you're working hard, training hard, showing you're brave, showing that you're not afraid. This is some of the things that I think people don't understand as well. We talk about emotionality in men and how women find it unattractive. And I actually agree by and large, if you cry in front of your chick, to a degree, she'll lose respect for you. but it depends why, and there's always nuance and scenarios where that changes. If you're crying out of frustration or crying like a girl because you can't fix something, then I think she'll lose a lot of respect for you. But if you're sitting there furious with tears running down your face because you're about to go kill the man who hurt her, she ain't gonna lose respect for you. That's different. So again, even a lot of the other arguments, a lot of the things we talk about emotionality in men or all these things or crying, etc., it ties back to the basic premise. I'll tell you now, I would argue with all my money and all my status and all of my physical attributes and how handsome I am, and all, if a woman felt like she wasn't safe with me, like I would allow something to happen to her and I wouldn't do anything about it, she'd leave. Sooner or later, she'd leave. And she might leave me for the thug who would kill a dude who looked at her wrong, and maybe he's too far the other way. But they crave that safety. There's no light without dark. And if you want a woman to truly respect you, she needs to rely on you for everything. But you better not fail her. And you have a huge responsibility as a man. You got massive responsibility. You can't be the guy who says, I don't know. Bro, when she comes to you and says, this is broken, and you go, I don't know, she's gonna look at you like, what? Who are you? Even if you don't know, you gotta find someone who does know and pay the price and get it fixed. That's your job as a man. And you just start saying, I'll just tell her I love her all the time. Everyone on Instagram tells her they love her. And eventually she'll check one of their profiles and he's got a nicer car than you and he's better looking than you. And it's just a slow ticking time bomb. And we can apply this to relationships and everything else. You don't own anything. Everything is rented. You have a nice business, you stop working on it, you go broke. You have a nice body, you stop training, you lose it. You have love, you stop working on it, you lose that too. Everything is rented. And I'll tell you the number one thing in the world that's rented that most people don't realize is that is your woman's respect for you. You can't start slipping because you start slipping and the trap is they make you slip.
Yes.
Just eat this food. The superpower is to never be slipping. I'll even tell you now, this is a personal story, it's a personal experience, but women have said to me, you always live with your boys. Why are you always with your boys? I'd like to live with you today. But they never leave me because living with my boys is what keeps me sharp. That's why I am the man they're in love with in the first place. If I live with just them, you're never going to be the same as when you're with the predators. You're never going to train as hard. You're never going to keep your head on a swivel the same. You've got to have that warrior instinct. So when we talk about a woman's respect being rented for you, that comes down to so many tiny things. It comes down to the fact that your phone is charged and your gas tank is full and you're organized. Bro, some of my best conversations are me sitting with my girl and talking about what we would do when World War III comes. What we're going to do what we would do if someone tried to break into our house. Well, they can't, baby, because I put a gate there and I've got armed guards. I've got bulletproof doors. Look, here's a Glock. I got this here. I didn't know that gun was there. Of course I do, baby. I got everything. Like, they love hearing that. They don't love it. They love hearing that more than anything.
Stay ready.
But stay ready, because that's what they expect from you as a man. That I'll tell you, nothing will turn a chick on more than you telling her how you'll fight the entire world to save her. But they also expect it of you, and it doesn't matter how liberal the relationship. Doesn't matter how feminist the girl and guy. If they're walking down the street and a man comes up to attack them, she's going to expect her man to do something.
Damn right.
She's going to expect him to do something. I think one of the few things left you can offer as a man that social media cannot yet replace us for is security and safety. I think it is your primary objective to make a woman feel safe. And I think if you can do that, she will feel something intrinsic that is aligned with her biology that she can't get from social media. And if you do it well and you're good at your job, in fact, her being famous on social media and having so much attention ties into her needing safety even more. And I think that security and safety can be physical, it can be financial, it can be in a lot of different ways. But if you say to a woman, look, you can get a bunch of attention on Instagram, sure. You can make some money on Instagram, sure. A bunch of men are going to message you on Instagram, sure. But I'm the only one who's going to make sure nothing bad happens to you. I'm the only one who's going to make sure you don't make mistakes. I'm the only one who's going to make sure that you are taken care of, and if there's a problem, you can call me no matter what. And that requires a degree of competence and capability. But I feel like, and I'm just talking from personal experience, if you can't make a woman feel safe nowadays in lots of different regards, both physical and financial, and even intellectually safe. If you're competent and a woman comes to you with her problem, it takes you less than a fraction of a second to tell her what to do.
Yeah.
If you can make her feel safe, you can compete with the machine mind. But if you can't give her that safety feeling anymore, if you're Joe Schmo and you can't do it, or if you don't feel like, or if she doesn't look at you as a man who she can come to for guidance or advice, if you can't give her safety, I don't think you can compete with Instagram. I think you're going to lose, no matter how much money you have or how much attention you give her. You can't give her more attention than the world will give her on Insta. You can't. Safety's all we have left, which ties into why it's so important you need to be a masculine man in the first place. She needs to look at you. My girl says to me all the time, you're my hero. You're like a hero. You're like a superhero. You're like the heroes. I know nobody can touch me if because you stop them. Like, you have to give that feeling of safety now.
You do.
Otherwise, I don't think you could compete. So then you have to sit down as a man and go, okay, I have this woman. I really love her. She has this Instagram page. She's getting money, attention, validation, all these things from there. I want to make her feel safe. How do I do that without coming across like a controlling weirdo? Well, she needs to truly respect me and allow me to have enough guidance and enough control over her life for her to feel as safer as a person, for her to respect me as a man and respect my competence. But I feel like striving to give your woman safety is now more important than ever. Safety is one of the last true emotional biological triggers that women have left. Truthfully, if you care about your woman, you should be doing this anyway. If you live in Phoenix, Arizona, and you see girls who get murdered in Phoenix, Arizona, you need to send that news article to your chick.
Yes.
That's not
dark side at all.
That's not being manipulative. That's saying, look, everyone thinks it won't happen to them till it happens.
It happens.
Look at this. Here's how. And then ask her as an adult. You're an adult. How do you think? Look at the scenario. Read the article. Why did this happen to her? Well, first it was 9:30 at night. Secondly, she was by herself. Thirdly, she was riding a bike. Like, how do we make sure this never happens to you? Do you understand that I wouldn't be able to continue with my life and be the same person if I lost you? How do I make sure this never happens to you? My number one goal is not to stop you having fun and not to stop you living your life, but I feel like as a man, I need to protect you. Here's this, that. Once you show your intention is truly for her safety, she's going to be far more likely. She'll have a much higher propensity to listen to what you say, because that's the last thing left you can offer as a man. Now, if you're lazy,
Really good point.
If you're lazy, if you don't train, if you don't know how to fix the fridge, if you come across as incompetent, if you're sloppy, if you're slow, then she's not going to believe you when you try these things, because she's going to say, well, what would you do anyway? I have genuinely never been, or every single girl who knows me, whenever they watch the movie, and this is, I swear to God, when they watch Taken, they message me. They say, you'd do that, wouldn't you? So, of course, top G. They believe Liam Neeson my ways, because I'm that guy.
Yeah.
I'm that guy in their mind. And you got to be that guy. I've had my girl say to me, can I go here? And I say, no, I don't trust those people, or it's dark, or I'm not around, or I don't really want you to go there. And she'll say, I'm so glad you said no. I'll say, what do you mean? She goes, I don't know. I'm just glad you said no. I feel safer. I feel happier that you won't even let me go.
Yeah.
You can't get your girl to listen. If I tell her not to go, she's more happy I won't let her. And that's kind of where, I guess also, if we go further down the rabbit hole, you can also apply this to other things. If you say to a girl, don't go to the club, why? You're right, but the reason you're telling her reeks to a degree of insecurity. Now, you're right, and you can do it the right way. But if you were to say, I don't think you should be going out, bad things happen, I care about you, and I want to make sure you're okay, I'll take you out, but I don't think you should be going out. And she's like, I really want to go. You're like, all right, cool. I'm trying to protect you here.
Heartbreak is the most fantastic motivator on the planet. When a lot of men message me and say they're heartbroken, I think that is the most fantastic mindset to be in to achieve things. Because there is that degree of revenge, and there is that degree of vengeance, and that can only be achieved through being so successful, so monumentally important that she can't forgive you. And also, you cannot even sleep. You can't even concentrate. Like, your whole mind's a mess. That's the perfect time to train. I only mention heartbreak all the time because I know it's a path every single young man goes through. There's up and down. There's rain and sunshine. You have to be that man who's going to go through it all. If you're a man who has a heartbroken, why did this happen? You have to know the why to prevent it from happening. You have to analyze the scenario and learn from it. When you look at your bad or your previous relationships with women that went wrong, you can sit there and go, okay, this all went wrong. What has she taught me? She taught me that I'm emotionally affectable. She taught me that if she ignores me, she gets more attention than if she's nice to me. You have to sit there and analyze all the lessons, and you have to implement them. It's the same with absolutely everything. As a man, you have to be accountable for absolutely everything. Every single thing that happens is your fault. You made her leave you. You did. Whether you like it or not. You are the reason she became so cold. You are the reason she doesn't listen anymore. You are the reason she's so arrogant all of a sudden. You are. You may not have identified why yet, but if you identify why, then you get into your next relationship healed and understanding what you did wrong and learn from it. That's what you have to do. But most of these men don't want the self-accountability, and they want to blame the women. You have to blame yourself. I actually truly believe that women in their hearts, unless they're completely corrupted by society, women just want to love and be loved and feel safe. That's what they want. They want a man that they can look at and they truly know he makes the decisions and I trust him. to make the decisions. And I love him for that. And I respect him for that. That's what they truly want. When a woman starts turning on you, it's usually because she doesn't trust you for some reason. She doesn't trust your judgment. If she starts to doubt your judgment, how can she truly love you? You're the protector. You're the provider. If a woman's gone cold on you, you have to sit there and go, okay, she doesn't trust my judgment. What have I done that made her doubt me? It's not her fault. It's your fault. Every single time a woman leaves you as a man, it is your fault. Always. Even if a richer, more successful, more alpha man stole her from you, it's still your fault because you need to be like him. It's always 100% your fault.
First things first is that going through a breakup sucks. And every single man out here, no matter what they say, understands how bad it is to go through a breakup and understands what heartbreak's like. It's difficult. It's not easy. I'd actually like to argue that men feel more heartbroken than women. I think that's
facts.
I think it's true. And I think it's because one of the possessive element that we have, the idea of her being with someone else hurts more than the idea of you being with someone else to her. And secondly, because you have a lot less options than she has instantly. So I think that breakups are worse for men than they are for women. And I understand how difficult and hard they can be. However, unfortunately, the unfortunate reality is that chasing her and being dedicated to her and saying you're going to do whatever she wants, etc., is very unlikely to work. It's very unlikely to work. And you have to look at the scenario you're in, look at the chessboard and make the best possible move. When you're heartbroken, when you're truly heartbroken, you can't even sleep and your mind is constantly preoccupied. And instead of seeing that as a negative, what you need to do is use that as a source of unlimited power. You have to just take the energy inside of you. Energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be converted, whether it's heat into light, momentum into friction, or however you want to put it, right? Energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be converted from one form to another. And you have to look at that and understand that the sadness inside of you is energy. You can't destroy it, but you can convert it into something else which is constructive. And you just have to suck it up, buttercup, and get over it. And there's no other way to do it. And obviously having an abundance of women makes that easier. But I wouldn't even put it that way. I'd say if you were with a woman and you lost her and you're now lonely and she's going to be moving on and you're absolutely utterly heartbroken and you're destroyed inside, I understand how difficult that is. But now you have genuine sadness inside of you, which is unlimited motivation for you to become a beast, become an animal. And by the time you're finished becoming an animal, you won't care anymore. So if you really want to cure yourself, you can just say, I'm going to get a six pack and I'm going to get bigger arms. And by the time my arms are this size and I have a six pack, you'll realize that you don't give a shit about her anymore. That's just the way the world works.
Let's say your wife breaks your heart. If you're not going to work, you can't sleep anymore. You're upset. She's running around with a new dude. You see her Instagram story. She's got some new guy. You're furious and you're angry and you're jealous and you're bitter. You have all of this inside of you. But you're not going to go to the gym and work hard and become so fantastically in shape and so rich and so powerful that no girl ever leaves you again. You're not going to do that. No. What are you going to do with it? Text her? Try and explain to her? She doesn't care. Like, you can write the most perfect English. You can write the most beautiful words ever constructed. Forget Shakespeare. You can do, it doesn't matter. She doesn't care. She just doesn't care. She's distracted. She forgot about you. She forgot about you. So what are you going to do with all of that inside of you if it's not positive? Well, it's going to consume you and you're going to end up self-destructive, or you're going to embarrass yourself, or you can take all of that and put yourself in a position where it never happens to you again. Yeah. Those are the choices. So what's the most intelligent choice to make? Yeah. You know, I don't understand how many humans function in the world today. I don't get people who don't think like me. I don't understand it. I'm like, well, then how have you survived this long? Life is hard. Life is difficult. Maybe I've just been unlucky, which I don't believe in, but I've had so much trauma and bad events and negativity and stress and all these things that have happened to me. And I've used all of it to be monumentally successful. If I wasn't that way inclined with the workload that God put on my shoulders, I'd just be in a ditch somewhere. Like, I don't understand how people are functioning. If you're not thinking like me and you're going through life with any other mindset, you've been extremely fortunate that God smiled on you and allowed you to sit around most of the time doing jack shit, and you have yet to be punished for that. Yeah. I could never have lived that life. If I was a bit lazy or a bit, or I was a bit of a snake, or if I lied to people, I'd be dead by now. Yeah. Like, so a lot of these people are just absolutely and utterly blessed by God that they managed to go through life with such a non-competitive mindset and they're still breathing. Like, I don't understand how people can think any other way. Yeah. I've spoken to dudes and like, I had a bad couple months. Why? My girl left me. You've wasted months. You've wasted months. But the reason I'm the luckiest man on earth is because God has given me endless building blocks to build a superhero. He's given me endless power. He's given me endless motivation. What did we say? Yeah. He's given me I have endless sources of power. I can sit here right now and recall events that will prevent me from sleeping for 2 to 3 days.
That gives me a superpower that other men do not have. They want to go to sleep. They're tired. I can stop being tired for days at a time. I can just have a thought. I can remember. I can sit, close my eyes, and use the power of my brain to vividly remember events, and I will not sleep for days. And when people come to me and say, oh, this happened, I'm really sad, or my heart broke, or this bad thing happened to me, I say, good. Thank the Lord that he's given you this endless source of motivation. You're wasting it. Yeah. That's your problem. But it's been given to you. Nitrous oxide has been given to you. You just have to use it in the correct way.
That's why America's going to win. If you're truly America first, you're going to sit there and say, okay, there's no light without dark. We will win. You cannot win unless someone else loses. To a degree, this whole idea of perfect polarity, 50-50, DEI, gender equality garbage that Ursula's pulling out her ass is bullshit. Someone has to win, and someone else is going to be unhappy with that scenario. For America to win, other countries are going to have to pay to a degree of price, and he's going to make. But it's you have to conquer the earth. Why? Let's talk about this. Why did Genghis Khan wake up and think, you know what? What can I do for fun? Well, I can play this instrument. That shit. Play the instrument for me. Diddle-ling-ling-ling. Boring. Okay, let me fuck this girl. Fucked her. Let me fuck her. Oh, kid number 84. Boring. What's there to do? You know what? Guys? Let's all get our horses and let's just ride over there, and whatever we find, let's just take it. Why? Because it's the instinct to conquer. It's inside of a man. It's been dumbed down by the Matrix. They try and numb you. They numb you with entertainment. They try and put you in the festival crowd. They numb you with shit food. They numb you with depression, all this other garbage. But truthfully, if you're a man, you look in the mirror, what will make me happy? My empire will make me happy. That's why Alexander the Great did what he did, and Julius Caesar did what he did, and Genghis Khan did what he did. They didn't have Google Maps. They didn't know where they were going. They just said, no, we've decided we're going to go take shit from other people and show we're the best. And that's what we're doing now, the successful men at least, in a financial sense. Why am I making money? I have nothing to buy. There's nothing to buy. I have it all. I have 4 Kernan's eggs, a Rimac, a Bugatti, 53 other cars, 40 properties. There's nothing to buy. I'm just taking it from other people. I'm winning the game. I'm conquering. And that's what I think truly is going to give you purpose in life. It's just conquest. Men have always been this way. That's why war was even happening in the first place. The Mongols raided Vienna. How long does it take to ride from Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia, on a horse to Vienna, Austria, across all of Siberia? And they were still mad enough and bored enough to go, nah, we need that city over there. That's the masculine essence, and it's been numbed down inside of people. Do you think they were ever considering fun at any point during this conquest? Because I don't think they were.
A lot of people at home, if they want to make more money, need to invest in themselves. Yeah. They invest in themselves. And maybe they've been taught, well, if I just save. Let me say to everyone here at home, if you are saving less than 10 grand a month and you're just saving, your chance of being rich is fucking 0. You need to go and do something else and make more. Invest in yourself, get knowledge, pay attention to mentors, start another business, open something. You need to do something because you're not going to save your way to the top. The average person at home, you're not earning enough to ever save. If you never save 100% of your wage, you're still going to be broke. You have to get to a level of earning. I wake up every day and I think, how do I make my life better? Nobody else wakes up each day and goes, how do I make Andrew Tate's life better? So if you're not the person who's waking up every day going, how do I improve my existence? Then nobody is. Nobody on the planet is considering improving your one spin on Earth.
No one else cares.
Nobody else cares. So if you don't care, then you're fucked. So you need to wake up and care. And it's amazing to me, like you're saying, how did I find my mentors? I just tried a bunch of them. Like when I had no money, I would try very hard I'd listen to lots of different people, or I'd try different things. And I wasn't scared to invest in myself because I understand that, look, if he's taking time out of his life, then I need to reward him for it financially. And I tried very hard and I listened and I paid attention and I was never lazy. I don't believe there's a person on the planet who pays attention, tries their best, is never lazy, is on time, works hard, has a mentor, and is giving it his all, who isn't rich. I don't believe it. I think that if you do all those things, you're rich. And if you don't have any money, you're missing one of those key elements. Now, you can fool yourself and you can fool everyone else and you can pretend you're doing them. But if you're truly honest with yourself, am I finding people who are trying to teach me what I want to know? And am I trying my best? And the answer is fucking no every time. And it truly is the abundance mindset is true. I remember when I was broke. When I was broke, I thought everyone was broke.
You do.
Because I was broke.
100%.
And then you get rich and you start thinking, shit, everyone has money. Every supercar I want is sold out. Every diamond watch I want is sold out. The private jet charters are full. The yachts are full. Like, as soon as you get rich, you start
Who are all these people that got money? Who are they?
I was just in Dubai and my houses are being built. They're going to be completed this year. I bought a bunch of them off plan. So I decided to rent, and I rented a house on the Palm, and it was $25,000 a day, dollars. And I rented it, and I'm sitting there and the landlord comes and goes, I just got an offer for $35,000 a day. You need to leave. And I go, okay, well, I'll pay $40,000 a day. And then he came back and goes, the guy's offered $50,000 a day for a year. And I'm like, who am I even in a bidding war with? And I just left. I was like, you know what? Take it. I'll get another one. But like, there's people out there with money like you couldn't fucking fathom. There is so much money in the world. So you do get to a level of wealth. Another time it hit me, I was at Monaco. I was sitting around dinner in Monaco after it was on a car rally, funnily enough. And there's like 10 of us. And I just looked around the table by coincidence. And I saw everyone's wearing a nice watch. And I thought, when I was broke, the idea, if someone told me they had 30 or 40 grand in the bank, I thought they were doing good. Now I'm sitting at a table, everyone's wearing $100,000 watch. Nobody gives a fuck. It's just like, there's levels to the game. And when you get up to the top, you realize there's money everywhere. The abundance mindset, there are so many rich people. So if you're not where you want to be financially, I hope this pisses you off, because I'm telling you to annoy you, that you're sitting there struggling to pay your bills. There are people out there making so much money you couldn't possibly fathom, who have anything they want all of the time. And you may sit there and go, oh, but they're miserable. A lot of them aren't. Trust me, they're having a great time. So you need to make a bunch more money, because there's money everywhere.
I find it amazing when people say they don't have motivation. I have people come to me and say, I want to get rich. I don't have motivation. I want to work harder. Said, how can you not have motivation to get rich when somebody like me with a head start like mine is still working 18-hour days every single day, 7 days a week without having a day off? I'm going to crush you. You don't stand a chance. I will beat you. And you're just going to sit there and perpetually lose because you can't find the motivation to crawl up out the mud and stay a bug until you end up in your 15-minute city getting your 17th injection like a dummy, like a useless eater. All I do is work. Nothing is fun. I don't have fun.
I've spoken to dudes and like, yeah, I had a bad couple months. Why? Oh, my girl left me. You've wasted months? You've wasted months over some... Like, you had think of how much God loves you to have given you the grace and given you the opportunity to waste months of human time over some chick. Like, talk about blessed head to toe. If I waste months, empires are going to collapse. I'm going to end up in a cell or dead if I waste months. I have things to do every single day. I can't waste a second. Like, these people are just absolutely infinitely blessed. And their mindset is a product of that, because they're spoiled children. Absolutely spoiled children. If you're going through life with any other mindset besides a hyper competitive one, where you're capable of competing with some of the most dangerous men on the planet in all their forms, me and my network, and also my competitors. If you don't have that mindset, then you have to understand that you are spoiled. You're spoiled by your reality. I believe there's only 3 reasons people are not rich. One of 3 reasons. They're either stupid, arrogant, or lazy. Stupid is actually the smallest category. People think, oh, there's a lot of stupid people. There are, but I know a lot of stupid people with a lot of money, right? There's so much money in the world. To be too stupid to generate money, I think is less than 5% of the population who are genuinely too dumb to ever make a good wage. Then you have arrogant and lazy, and these are the 2 most common. Lazy because people just, oh, but I need time to myself. Oh, but it's the evening. Or, it's hyper competitive. There are people who do not need times to themselves. There's an Indian in Islam, or there's a guy in Islamabad who'll do your job online for $3 an hour and he doesn't sleep. You're going to lose, right? So if you're going to be lazy in any regard, you have to understand there are people like me who are billionaires who work 18 hours a day. When I finish this, I get into my car and I open my laptop and I work on my way to my next appointment. And then I'm going to work all night till the day I go. When I go to sleep, I close my laptop and I'm asleep a minute later. I work. That's all I do. So lazy is a big problem because people go, oh, but I just want to relax. If you just want to relax, that's fine. But you're competing against people who just don't want to relax, and you're going to lose. And the last, and I'd say that's around, a lot of people have that element to them. A lot of people are lazy. That's about 50% of people. But the main reason people are not rich is because they are arrogant. 50% of people are brutally arrogant. The arrogance of people is truly mind-bending. If you know so much, why are you broke? You obviously don't know. If I want to learn how to box, I wouldn't walk into a boxing gym, find a guy who can box and go, yeah, not bad, but can he really punch? Like, this is how people think when it comes to money. You guys are all successful enough. You can sit there and say, look, I do X, Y, Z. I have X, Y, Z. You don't have it. So do you want to learn how to play piano from the piano teacher, or do you want to sit there as an arrogant brokey? Most people are brutally arrogant, and you can sit there and you can try and help them, and they're just so arrogant. They think, oh, I can do it myself, or I'll work it out myself. I don't need help. And it's arrogance, and it keeps them at the bottom. Everything great that's happened to me in my life, someone taught me. I had a kickboxing coach. My dad was my chess coach. You get taught things. To sit there and think you're too good to learn. Well, this is the problem. Most people are broke. Most people are broke because they're arrogant, bro. It's the truth. It's nothing to do with how stupid they are. They're just arrogant people. The reason I'm the luckiest man on earth is because God has given me endless building blocks to build a superhero. He's given me endless power. He's given me endless motivation. What did we say?
Yeah.
He's given me I have endless sources of power. I can sit here right now and recall events that will prevent me from sleeping for 2 to 3 days. That gives me a superpower that other men do not have. They want to go to sleep. They're tired. I can stop being tired for days at a time. I can just have a thought. I can remember. I can sit, close my eyes, and use the power of my brain to vividly remember events, and I will not sleep for days. And when people come to me and say, oh, this happened, I'm really sad, or my heart broke, or this bad thing happened to me, I say, good. Thank the Lord that he's given you this endless source of motivation. You're wasting it. Yeah. That's your problem. But it's been given to you. Nitrous oxide has been given to you. You just have to use it in the correct way. So I'm the luckiest man in the world because all the bad things that happened to me have given me all the building blocks to become the most fantastic man on the face of the planet. I think a lot of the problem with people, especially in the world today, is they misunderstand the difference between a dream and a plan. And nothing good in your life is ever going to happen by accident. If you see a guy in fantastic shape, you don't say, how'd you get in great shape? And he goes,
it just happened.
Oops, I just fell. No, he ate a specific way. He trained a specific time. He did specific things for a specific outcome. And it's the same with finances. And most people who are broke, if you say, do you want to be rich? Yeah, I want to be rich. How are you going to get rich? One day,
I'll win the lottery.
Yeah, dumb shit. You have no plan. You have no plan whatsoever. No actionable steps. No, you're not doing things daily. You're just hoping some point in the future, God's going to just dump it on your doorstep. Guess what? It ain't going to fucking happen. And unless you have a plan, a specific plan, I'm sure you guys had you had a plan and you worked hard to get to your points. I had a plan. Everything was like, okay, today we have to do day after day after day until you get there. And this is what most people don't have because they're too arrogant or too lazy. I don't think it's stupid. I think most people, if you laid out a plan and they tried their very best and they were willing to learn, could do it. I don't think people are too stupid to make money. They're just too lazy or too arrogant to make money. That's the problem with people. So I say this to people. I say, for the next 2 weeks, every time you spend money, even if it's £1, write down how they got it from you. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, all right, cool. You're walking down the street. You're going to Starbucks. You buy a coffee. Why did they take your money? Well, I wanted coffee. Yeah, but how? Okay, you wanted coffee, right? Cool. Did you only want a coffee because you saw Starbucks, or did you want coffee beforehand? Why did you want their coffee and not another coffee? Did you buy a cake as well? Why did you buy a cake? All right, cool. So now you identified how they took your money. Then realize how they could have took more of your money. You bought a cake, but you didn't buy a sandwich. Why? The sandwiches weren't on display, or they looked cold, or they looked rubbish, or the woman who was serving me was old and ugly. Maybe she was a young cutie and talked to me about bologna sandwiches, or I bought one, right? So you need to start identifying how your money is taken from you. Because once you identify how your money is taken from you, you can start to actually intelligently think about how you can take money from other people. If you're at a gas station and it's 3 a.m. and a Lambo pulls up and a guy gets out of it, you're thinking criminal, drug dealer, gangster. Yeah. You're not thinking, he has a uni degree. Because you're not going to think that. So when you see money, people don't even associate the money they see with university. But then they go, I want to make money, so I go to university. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. So I think everybody knows that the system and the path they lay out for you is not a path that's going to lead to where you want to be. And I didn't know what the other path was, but that intrinsic distrust for the system and that distrust for the things they wanted me to do made me search for other avenues. And then I found them, right? And if you speak to the people who are richest, if you speak to the people you know, this is for everyone at home as well, if you speak to the people you know who have the most money and go up to them and say, hey, what made you rich? None of them say school. Do any of them say school made me rich? I got an A in GCSE. Like, who gives a shit? It's bullshit, right? So it's all indoctrination. So I knew it was indoctrination. And for that reason, I was always searching. And if you're searching, you're going to find. Yeah. So, and life really doesn't have to be that complicated. When you see somebody that has something you want, you just got to try and work out how they got it. Yeah. And that's the missing part. Most people see people with things they want and they don't do the second half. They don't try and work out how they got that thing. Oh, my man has a Ferrari. Okay. I wish I had a Ferrari. Okay. They don't sit there and go for an hour. How did he get a Ferrari? It doesn't cross that part is the part they don't want to do, right? They just go, oh, he has a Ferrari, wish I had a Ferrari, and they go back to TV.
Yeah.
And that's why they lose.
Think of the harshest lesson. You don't even have to say what it is, but think of the harshest lesson you've had in the last few years. And think of how many times you had the easy way to learn that lesson. You could have just stopped being a dickhead before it got bad.
Well, yeah.
Think how many times you could have just woke up and go, nah. But we don't, do we?
Nope.
We wake up like, we got away with it. It's fine. And then bam, you get hit. There's only two ways to learn lessons, hard and harder. If you're smart, you take it the hard way. Real idiots take it the hardest way.
Yeah.
But there's no easy way to learn lessons. I know I've only reached 10% of what I can actually do.
Let's go, bro.
And that bothers me. And no matter how much money I'm making or how most Googled man alive, whatever, I can still identify the inefficiencies in my systems. I can still identify where more money could have been made. And money isn't that important. But like we said, money is a very simple way to measure success because it's numbers. Numbers are easy.
Yeah.
This number, that number. It's easy. What does a company do when it wants to measure the success of a company? It looks at the numbers. What does a YouTube channel do? It looks at the numbers. Numbers are easy. So if you're going to say, how do I be successful in life? Money is not everything, but it's a nice, easy way to measure because it's numbers. And then when you understand it's the time and energy of other people, you sit and go, okay, well, I have this large empire now and I have all these people who work for me and all these people I love and all these people I care about and all these children and all this going on. And the world is getting more and more messed up and everything's on a decline and everything's being destroyed. And a certain number of people are going to become useless eaters and are going to be eradicated. And they're going to try and lock us all in our 15-minute cities for the climate or some garbage. That's coming in no time. How do I combat and fight all of this and protect all the people I care about? Well, I need the time and energy of others. I need an army, so I need money. So you start waking up saying, okay, 1 billion is shit, Tristan. And he's like, Andrew, we're from a single mother household and our company got valued at $1.2 billion and you own 100% of it. No, we need at least 10. And then you start getting, then I get mad. And my stress comes from the fact that I don't have enough.
I don't ever sit and concern myself with, am I spending too much? If I thought I was spending too much, I would simply find a way to make more money. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people talk about efficiency as well. I've had people talk about working smart, not hard. That is true. But I believe that you need to fill your day with all of the hard work first. I think that working smart is a matter of being more efficient with all the time you should spend working. If you sit there and go, I want to work smart, not hard, so I work an hour a day, well, then you're still lazy. Mm-hmm. You should work smart and hard and do 15 smart hours a day. That's how you win.
The average people come to me and say, what do I do? I'm just the average guy. And my only answer is stop being the average guy. It's my only answer. You can't just be the average guy anymore. The idea from the 1950s that you can just be the normal, average, law-abiding, hard-working citizen and you'll have a good life is gone. Any man out here who goes, I'm just going to work hard, do my bit, and obey the laws, and I'll have a good life. No, you won't. No, you will not. Just doing your job is never going to make you rich, because you're just going to be taxed into infinity and you're going to stay broke. So just obeying laws and doing your job now has set you up to be a peon and a slave for eternity.
So I'm a firm believer in the physical realm. I'm a fighter. Okay, so I was a fighter. So I believe in physicality. Physicality is always an option in my mind. Like we're having an argument, we're having a disagreement. It always crosses my mind at least. Can I smash your face in? Oh, yes, I can. Okay, so let's continue to talk. But I've already analyzed it, and I've already decided that I could do it if I wanted to. So physicality, I live in a physical world. And for that reason, I believe physicality is important. And for that reason, I understand that physical capability is important. I don't believe the mind and the body can be separated completely. I don't think that's possible. And I think the stronger your body is, the stronger your mind is going to be. So whether it's business, whether it's women, whether it's anything else, I think if you have a strong body, you're going to have a stronger mind. I don't see how. There's two reasons for that. One, because creating a strong body takes discipline, so it trains your mind. And two, how can you have a strong body that's so resilient and have a weak mind? I mean, maybe you do. I've known a bunch of dudes who do a bunch of steroids and they cheat their way to the top and shoot down their pussies. But if you're doing
women fucking walk all over them. You see that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So you see that a lot. But I'm talking about if you do it legit like I did. I've never taken a steroid in my life. Never cheated. No, I just fucking trained hard. If you train hard, you're going to learn discipline. And discipline's always going to help you. And I believe that the link between the two is strong. And I also believe that, like men and women have very different experiences of the world.
Yeah.
And people very often think, I hear a lot of people say, oh, women are lucky or life's easy as a woman. I think being a woman would be a disaster. I think being a woman would be shit. Because the only thing that matters and the only happiness you can derive truly as a woman is through a man anyway. You need a man you love and you need his kids. Because without that, you're a miserable bitch. Instagram won't make you happy. Being a hoe won't make you happy. All the Gucci in the world won't make you happy. You're still fucking miserable. So, but as a man, you can be happy without some chick. You can just be fucking random chicks. You don't need a chick you're obsessed with. You can be fucking random hoes, and you can be strong, and you can be rich, you can push your Lambo, hang with your boys. Like, life is good as a man. I think it's better than a woman, but only if you're the man. Being a man is shit. Being the man is great. And part of being the man is looking like the man. And the man is strong. It's the reality. The man is strong. I say, imagine the man. He's strong. So I think, yeah, there's absolutely a link with the discipline aspect, but there's also a link for your happiness. And happiness is energy. Like, people say, I lack motivation. I say, it's because you're unhappy. If you want motivation to push hard in your business, if you were happy and excited every day, you'd work harder. So how do you become happy and excited? Well, you have to be the man. How do you be the man? We've got to be strong. Ta-da! It's all linked.
Comes down to you. Yeah,
it comes down to you. Yeah, it's all linked. So if you wake up every day and look in the mirror and go, I'm strong as an ox. Look at this. I'm built like Hercules. I'm about to go make some fucking money. Yeah. That's different than waking up and going out of breath out the shower and shit. You know what I'm saying? So there is definitely a link. I think physicality is linked to everything. I don't think you can deny that. Physicality is linked to everything in your mind. I couldn't be me if I wasn't so fucking strong. I couldn't be me. I know I'm an objectively strong man, and it makes me happy. You know what? Besides, we're going to talk about women, because I think women are the biggest aspect. But besides women, I've seen a lot of dumb shit that also had like, every cloud has a silver lining. So you can do some dumb shit, but it can be so polarizing that it ends up meaning your fans love you more and your haters hate you more. But who cares? Your fans love you more. And your haters are never going to pay money anyway.
Yep.
Or, like, I had a business. So anyway, let's talk about the TV advertising agency. So the TV advertising agency I had, the guy I ran away to start the agency with turned out to be a fucking coke addict and spent $1,000 a week on coke. Now, he was burning through the bank account on cocaine, destroying it. I've never tried cocaine in my life. He was killing it on coke. But that made him excellent closer because he needed money today. He was like, no. I was like, oh, I've got this client. They want to do business next week. He's like, no, today. I was like, no, but they already said they don't have money till next week. He goes, no, we're going to call them and we're going to find a way to make them send money today because it's a fucking Friday and I'm going out and I got this bitch and she likes coke and I like coke. I want money today. So although it was a detriment, in many ways, he taught me a lot about sales. He was like, nah, call them up, promise the I got 30% of the money today. See, I got some money today. Like, he was that guy because of his downside. So there's a whole bunch of, stupid shit that have a silver lining. The only thing that doesn't have a silver lining is fucking up with women. I say this all the time, man. Women affect everything about a man's life. Everything. Your business, your physicality, your happiness. If you don't have a good relationship with women, you're gonna have a miserable life. It doesn't matter who you are. If your woman's treating you like shit every day you go home, no sports cars can make you happy. No jobs can make you happy.
It's going to eat at your soul.
It's going to eat at your soul. Yeah, absolutely. So I say the biggest mistake a man can make in business is advertise his woman troubles. So I've had a few times guys come to me and be like, I want to start this business, da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, okay, we're talking about stuff. And I'm like, okay, let's meet here this time. Oh, the wife will moan. Can we meet earlier? And I'll sit and go, so you want me to go into business with you, but your wife tells you what time you're allowed to leave the house? And you want me to trust you with half my business? Like, no, that to me, that's a red flag. Yep. I was like, no. This is a fucking divorce, get involved in my business bullshit waiting to happen.
Yep.
Like, you can't control your chick, and then you want to make money.
He's not even in command of his own life.
He's not in command of his own life. And who the fuck's this bitch to tell me what time I can have my business meeting? She's sucking my dick. I said this time. I don't fucking know her. So too many dudes are like advertising. I think one of the biggest things you can do, and you need to keep clear in business, they say keep it separate from your personal life. And it doesn't mean you have to be completely separate. But in regards to the fact, you can't be, I know loads of fucking top level salesmen in London, but they thought it was like funny. Oh, got to be home for my wife and all this shit. And it's just like, you're a dickhead and you're pathetic. And I don't think you should be doing that kind of thing. It's like, if I had a business to run and my woman complained, she could fuck off. I have to make money, so that's how it's got to be. So some of the dumbest shit I've seen has been female related, but most dudes do dumb shit with females in and out of business, man. Yeah, and that's it here. Because women, look, it doesn't matter. You can be Jeff motherfucking Bezos, and who fucked with him? There was one human alive who could dent his wealth.
Yep.
And she did it. Even Trump himself passing laws against Amazon could not dent his wealth like that bitch, because he sells all around the world. There was one person on the planet who could dent his wealth considerably, and she did.
She got billions, I think, too, right? It's
Bro,
crazy.
she's like the richest woman in the world.
Yeah, that's
For
nuts.
sucking dick.
Yep.
Jesus. But this is what I mean. You got to have your shit together, especially with females. Too many guys don't have their shit together. I see this with fighting all the time. I see fighters who are dedicated and hardworking, dangerous men get a new girlfriend. Oh, I'll change my training hours. I need to finish earlier. Yeah, but the other professionals aren't there till later, so you can't spar the good guys. You're going to be sparring the shit guys. Oh, yeah, but, blah, my girlfriend, I pick her up from the train station. Okay, cool. Give over 6 months of not sparring the killers like me and sparring the pussies. Then he gets in the ring, gets the fuck kicked out of him. Then his girl leaves him. The fuck was that? Like, I've seen it time and time again. People fucking make these accommodations for females. And the woman's ruthless. If you make an accommodation and you lose your job or you lose your fight, she's gone anyway.
Yeah, immediately.
So what the fuck are you doing? People often say to me, hey man, how did you get red pilled? And I say, I got red pilled because I was a fighter. I have to fight. Oh, but I want you to take me here. Can't. Training. Oh, but I want you to take me here. Fuck off then. Bye. I was just dedicated to my craft. That's all that red pilled me. I refused to take shit. That's all it was. And I saw so many other guys like compensate and fucking ruin their careers. In fighting, you lose one fight, that's your chance. That was your big shot. It's done. Like, you can't, and you're gonna fucking leave early to pick up some bimbo from a train station. Like, get a fucking taxi. But man, it'll fuck up your business. It'll fuck up your fight career. It'll fuck up your whole fucking life. It's too easy to do. You gotta be on the ball. I'm not saying hate women. I'm not saying be anti-woman. You just gotta be like, okay, she loves me because I'm me. I became me because of X, Y, Z. Now she's gonna complain because she's a female and she has a low IQ, but I refuse to compensate. I'm gonna continue with X, Y, Z because that's who I am. She doesn't like it, she can fucking go. Oh, absolutely. So let's look. So let's talk about, we'll get into the political aspect quickly.
Okay.
Why in London are Muslims so rich? I'll tell you why. The Muslims own all of London because their women are in check. So I had a Muslim friend when I used to go to college, and he drove a Ferrari and he was 19. And he worked in a chicken shop. He was making like $1,000 a month. And I was like, how the fuck do you have a Ferrari when you're making $1,000 a month? He goes, well, what happens is this. I have a wife at 19. I have a wife, and my 4 brothers have wives, and my mom, and all 5 women stay in the house and they cook and clean and provide for us men. And then us men, our only job is to go out and make money. And then we put all our money together and then we buy properties and buy expensive cars and we share them. So, and then he said to me, he goes, the problem with white people, you said it, the problem with white people is, if you were in my family with 5 people or 5 brothers, you'd go rent a place because you want your own space to fuck your girl, and you'd go rent a place, and you'd go rent a place, and you'd all be paying separate rents, and you wouldn't pool your money, and you couldn't live in one house because all the women wouldn't like each other, or the men would argue, and the women want to look after the men. He goes, so all your assets are divided and scattered, so you can't make money.
And that's before all getting divorced too.
And that's before you're getting divorced. That's right. They're not going to get divorced either.
Yeah.
So if you have women in check, it's absolutely a massive benefit. I can wake up in the morning and say the first words out my mouth. I can wake up, coffee. It's the first thing I say, not, hey, baby, coffee. She'll get up, she'll make me coffee. I'll come out to a clean house, and I can sit down with my coffee and start making money. Yeah. So having women in check is absolutely a huge advantage to your life, because I don't agree with MGTOWs. As a man, you need feminine energy. I'm telling you now, I say this, if you're sick, let's say you get the flu, every once in a while you get sick, when you're fucking dying and you're sick. You want a woman, make me tea, massage my head, I'm dying. You need women around you, and you want women who love you. But you don't want to deal with all their shit. So it's just getting the balance right. You do need women around you, but you need to be good with them so they love you and they respect you and let you do your things as a man. I know that's not easy, but that's what I teach. I never say to guys, look, give up on chicks. It's the wrong way. You need chicks. But they're ruthless. But that should be all the motivation in the world to have your shit together.
Yep.
Shouldn't it? Like, I mean, I fuck beautiful women. So if I have to have my shit together to fuck beautiful women, that's fine by me. Okay, I'll get my shit together. Fine. All right, my shit together. Okay, come here. So it's good for me. But yeah, having your stuff together with women is massive advantage. And Muslims prove this. Their shit's together completely. Yep. So yeah, women will fuck your life up. Just one more point on that. People say to me all the time, I wish I was close with my brother like I am with you and Tristan. But and if I talk to him a little bit, it always comes down to, well, my wife doesn't like, okay. So you chose some bitch above your brother because your wife doesn't like you and your brother going to the bar. And then you want to ask me, how do you get close with your brother? You chose the pussy. You chose the woman. Now, if you get in a car crash, only another man can drag you from a flaming car. Your woman's just going to stand there and scream while you burn.
Yeah.
But your brother, because he wants to go to the bar and your woman doesn't like it, you chose the woman over your brother. And then you want to ask me how to become close with your brother. I don't give a fuck how big your tits are. If you come to me and say, I don't like you living with Tristan, I'll be like, cool. Well, you can either accept it or you can fuck off. Because there is 0% chance of me not living with him to live with you. 0.
Bros before hoes, man.
Flat zero.
Bros. Literally bros before hoes in your case.
What the fuck am I? Yeah, it's flat 0. So this is the choice most men make. Most men choose the pussy above their boys. And they're like, oh, how do I get a good relationship with my brother? Why have I not got a team I can rely on? Because as soon as there's some titties in your face, you sacrifice your team. I'm gonna sacrifice my team for any girl on fucking earth. I don't care who you are. Try me. Send me the most famous bitch alive, and I'll put the screenshots on Twitter. Tell her to fuck herself. I don't care.
Well, I said this the other day. I said this after I did the process about Jesus. People said, oh yeah, fantastic, you did a great job. And I said, it is great, and I've got a platform, you've got a platform, we're doing our best. But truthfully, you need the common man to stand up to evil. It can't just be a few of us, it has to be a lot of us, which means you need the common man. By extension, common means a lot. Yeah. The common man now has been so demoralized, he can't even get a woman who respects him. If you don't have a woman who respects you, and you don't have a family, what are you going to fight for? What are you going to die for? Yeah. So you're just going to play video games to the end and watch it all burn and make memes and think it's funny, right? So the common man's been so demoralized now, and they've done that with this feminism and this insanity, social media, XYZ. I totally understand, and I'm not blaming women for this, but the average girl is scrolling Instagram trying to catch her ass a millionaire. There aren't enough millionaires. There's a lot of common men out there who can't even get a woman who's going to feed them a nice meal and make them a coffee each morning. How can we expect them to stand up and defend a society where they don't feel respected, they don't have a family, women treat them like shit? All of this, feminism's got in these women's minds where they think they're too good for anybody. Like, everything's broken from the absolute core. And you're right, this is fairly recent. I mean, I would argue in the 80s, if you're the hot girl in the town and there's a guy in the town and you meet, it is what it is. But now, if you're the beautiful girl in Nebraska, you're on a plane to the Maldives with some dude from Russia. Yeah. Like, the whole thing's all messed up. And the local dude in Nebraska, what's he left with? And then you're asking him to get on the front line? And you're asking him to defend that society? The common man's been so brutally demoralized that even the ones who understand every word we're saying are like, well, where's my skin in the game? If you don't feel like the king of your household, why would you fight to defend it? You got to have a small kingdom you want to defend. If you feel like the king of your household, you're prepared to not let anyone come anywhere near that house. But if you're like, well, okay, maybe I got a wife, but she talks to me like shit, and I'm working non-stop, my kids don't listen. Kid is listening to the teacher about LGBT. Like, you're just going to lose your mind. You're just going to sit there and wait to die. It's truly incredible the amount of damage they've managed to do to society on a level of the nucleus of the cell is broken. The constant bombardment, the constant propaganda, the constant inversion of natural gender roles. I would argue you'd struggle to find a house in Russia where the man's not the man of the house. I mean, I'd argue it'd be hard to find. Perhaps it's not ignorance, Perhaps if we had to be honest about it, perhaps some people are just self-destructive and they just want to burn everything with them. Perhaps some people just want to see the world burn. Perhaps it's not ignorance. Perhaps they understand what they're doing and they just want to see the world burn. They're bitter and they're sad and they want it all to burn down. They hate the system because they can't win under the system. They hate the meritocracy. They hate the patriarchy where you have to be a man of duty and courage and honor because they can't compete. They feel like they're losing under the current rules and they just want to burn it all to the ground, hoping that perhaps something better will be set up, or even not. Just, we're playing a game of chess. I'm losing because I'm a loser. So throw all the pieces off the board. And if you try and explain to them, well, if you throw the pieces off the board, chaos comes, anarchy comes. Well, but I keep losing, so burn it all down. A lot of these people truthfully just want to see the world burn. I believe that they don't even want America to do well, even at their own personal expense. As crazy as that may sound, they're already at the bottom. So, I mean, the scary thing about a meritocracy
is you're always going to have 50% of people who are below average in a meritocracy, even if it's a perfectly fair one. I mean, I'm going to say this and get me in a lot of trouble, but I'm going to say it. If you look at the face of a woman who's conservative, who believes in family, and you look at the face of these trolls, it's not hard to see. Like it's not hard to see who's on which side of the fence.
Get you in trouble, but it's the truth.
It's the truth, right?
No doubt.
So they're just upset with the system, and they just want to burn it all to the ground. They want everyone to suffer. And what's the mistake that's been made is that they've ever got a voice at all. But I guess the question is if that's a mistake or if that was purposely designed. Like we said, who's finding these people? Who's organizing them? Who's amplifying them? Who's getting all these idiots in one place? Who's giving them all the same sign? Who's behind these people? Who's giving them airtime? Who's pushing them to the front of algos? Who's bringing them on? Who's bringing them on the news to even debate their garbage? Who's putting them on the TV? These people should be shunned and ignored. But for some reason, somehow, they're being found and pushed to the front as this very vocal, and I'd argue even now, as crazy as America is, I'd still argue they're a minority. They're a vocal, psycho minority, and they look bigger than they are because they're being amplified. So you want to ask who's destroying the world? Who's amplifying them? Who's finding them and going, this will do more damage to the masculine duty to protect society, and that's what I want to do. So get this person, make her a newscaster, put this idiot up there, and put her on TV 8 times a week and promote her show. Those shows don't make money. No one buys those shows. Who's putting them up there? That's what you really have to do. And I guess if we want to do our research, we should find a list of the 100 top idiots and find out which production companies they work for. We could probably start digging a little bit and maybe get some answers, because there is no way it's a coincidence that they keep finding these clowns and putting them in everyone's face.
And you're right, they don't make money for anybody. They're just there.
They're just there. And it's incredible. The MSM's a perfect example of that. Who buys the media? Nobody. Every government in the world spends endless money keeping these stupid orgs alive to lie to you. That's it. If they were telling you the truth, you'd have to pay for it. Right? If they were telling you the truth, it wouldn't be free. It wouldn't be on in every lounge. It wouldn't be on in every airport. It wouldn't be shoved down your throat. It wouldn't be mentioned all the time. It's all lies. I mean, they have a job to do, and they're paid by the government to lie to you. That's what it is.